I'm putting this up today, and I put this up before, and in case there's anybody new that's looking at the YouTubes, I have to tell why and who. I'm Victoria II, the legal heir to the British Crown. And I was kidnapped in 1941, born in 39, and my father's Edward VIII, King Edward VIII, who was always married to Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe Windsor, sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe. So my mom was an American from Madison, Wisconsin. And my father never married Wallace Simpson, and this is a photo of her. That was a takedown of my father. It was a plot to take him down by the Churchill, Sir Winston Churchill, who actually burned the files of my birth and the marriage of my father and mother. But I understand there are still copies out there. So I keep hoping to clear my father's name because it's a total lie. He never married Wallace. Double did, an imposter. And the imposter, there's more than one, actually did all this bad behavior, some of it very criminal it was all criminal, but after he became the governor of the Bahamas and she became like the first lady. I mean, this is hard to believe, first of all, that it was ever allowed to happen. And the other is that it's been allowed to continue history, such lies and such YouTube videos that I see that are total lies, and all of it. And they've never corrected it. They've deleted me. They've deleted my mom and dad now. I don't know how my father lived because they took his identity and banned him from the castle and everything, evidently the whole family just about. Of Windsor's anyway. So I don't know how he lived unless my mom had money. She was a school teacher, but the O'Keeffes had money, and my Aunt Georgia did, although that was tied up illegally, so that, I mean, it's a mess. It really is what was done to take down my dad and my mom and to block any help we could get. So anyway, my aim, as anyone's would be, after I found out about my kidnapping in 83, I can remember quite a bit, believe me, being brought to Moulton, Alabama and given another name. And I'll go through and show this again because quite simply, I said I wanted to clear my father's name because my father would not follow the instructions or orders from the Illuminati. The Kennedy clan, JFK helped kidnap me. His dad was made ambassador to England by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His whole family, the Roosevelts, Eleanor, his sons later, were all in on this, the takedown of my dad and my kidnapping. So you had the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedys, my own Uncle George. Can you believe a brother would do that to his own brother, the king? Help take him down, and my mom, and kidnap his niece, my father's only daughter, who's the queen. The Dow was born because of the addendum. And the fact that this was all a plot and these people should have been locked up. They're traitors and war criminals. Instead of sitting in Buckingham Palace and flaunting the wealth and the lifestyle that I guess everybody would want to live, except it doesn't belong to them. They belong in prison. I mean, my God, they've done it. Well, I'm not even going to go there, okay? I wanted to say this. That was my hope. I want back what's mine. And this whole fiasco, though, it'll probably never happen. She'll go on living, Elizabeth, and she's part of the Illuminati. That's why her father was placed there by the Illuminati. He took orders from them. But the rest of the monarchy, I know there's people in my family that did try to help my father and try to get me back. But now and then it would appear to me that the royal families, they have even have the royals of the world. It's like they band together, almost like the Illuminati. I know Elizabeth is a high-ranking member of the Illuminati. The Windsors are, the Freemasons and Illuminati, another word for the mafia, okay? So Elizabeth's always known who I am, who my mom was, who my father married, all of the truth. So she's enjoyed all this, and she walks around with a bouquet of flowers, I guess, and outfits that cost a bloody fortune while I'm in rags. But it's the life and the pain and suffering, torture that was heaped upon me and then my sons. And trying to tell the way I grew up, the family they put me in, is unbelievable. The abuse, the dirt, the filth, all of it. Things done that are so inhumane. And I guess that's back to what my reason for doing this one today. Let me show this and then I'll get back to it. This is Wallace and the Double. This is me when I was brought to Moulton, Alabama. That's me with George there, and that's that family. And this is me in high school. This is Wallace Simpson and Eleanor Roosevelt, 1941 late. They've got their coats and everything on. They're shaking hands. Job well done, because I was kidnapped in 1941 spring. So here they are. This is October, of 1941. Wow. My mom and dad, I know, were alive in October the 20th of 86 when I came to Roanoke, and she died, Wallace did, in the spring of 86. My mom and dad are still alive and together, and Windsor Castle is where the Double was buried in 72, and that's where Meghan and Harry are supposed to be married May the 19th. Oh, okay, this is that family. That's me. And I remember running away. They had to bring cameras in from out of Moulton's a little town, and this was way out in the country. Oh, wow, way out in the country. Like you wouldn't believe the filth and the stench and all of it and the abuse. But I tried to run away, and they grabbed me, and I said, but you're not my family. Well, they stuck me in there anyway, and I have to look at this now after saying bouquet. That must have been a bouquet they put there on me. Anyway, I'll go back to, I wanted to put this down, and then I'm going to explain the reason I made this one today. This is, I put it up before, but it's my Uncle George, Eleanor Roosevelt, who was so much a part of this, and Franklin Delanor's mother there, and this is Elizabeth's mother, the illegal Queen Ma, married to the illegal George the Sixth, which is an illegal title. This is my dad, King Edward the Eighth, and this is Mark on the rocking horse. My children didn't have much. There's things that were done, and I now know because we were born into royalty. You have to wonder about it now, don't you? Royalty. But most people are caught up in it, you know. Not in me. They don't want to pick cotton and live the life, the abuse that I had, and the life that I should have had, and a loving father and mother. So anyway, this is a little rocking horse that Mark, he's the heir after me. Well, Obama went to visit Elizabeth, and I think it was in Windsor Castle. It was on a couple years ago now, or a year and a half. He went there, and I believe his wife did, and they stayed for a couple of nights with Elizabeth. And they took little George, a rocking horse. President Obama did. And I went back, I had this one picture of Mark. All my things were stolen when they almost killed me in April Fool Day of 80. And this is my Aunt Georgia O'Keefe. This is my sons Mark and Scott. Well, if you don't put it down there, they look a lot alike, don't they? They're not, don't look alike, really. This is Mark. And this is Scott, my second born. And this is my babies here, Mark and Scott and me. Mark and Scott. And this is me with Scott's horse. We had him for a little while. Let's see, I guess that was it. And of course, this is Elizabeth and that whole brood, Charles, of illegals and the crimes they've committed. Here is the Anthony Armstrong Jones. I believe that's, and he didn't have a title. He was a photographer, and he married Elizabeth's only sister. Her name's Margaret also. And so anyway, Elizabeth gave Anthony Armstrong Jones, Margaret's husband, a title, Lord Snowdon. And so that makes him a member of Parliament, and I'm not sure how that works, other than there's benefits. So this is his children, and I think one of his marriages was, I may be wrong, well, no, I think I'm right, was to a lady who had 2 children. Now, I don't know if that includes them. Those 2 are not, but this is who is on the, it's not a payroll. These are freeloaders, and they give to charity. While I've lived in hell and poverty and abuse and rags and Christmas, I spent alone. I don't even know if my children are alive, because they're heirs after me, so you can guess, all right? Now then, what Harry said, excuse me, what Harry said to the press about the Christmas with Meghan, where she was welcomed in by the royal family, that this was the family that Meghan never had, and he was talking about, I think this was on a broadcast that he's doing broadcasting now, and this was he was telling them about how good they all were to Meghan. And there's one photograph I saw that on Christmas with Meghan, and she's arm in arm with Catherine, and Catherine's in, they're all 4 arm in arm. William, Catherine, and Meghan and Harry. So happy, clothes you wouldn't believe, living all the finery, all the Christmas and jewels that they need to be in prison. And anyway, Samantha, sister or half-sister to Meghan, responded to Harry, and you can look that up, his comments that were made about the royal family were the family that Meghan never had. Well, I'm the one that should be living there, and I'm the one that never had the family. And quite frankly, I hope there's still some of the royal family that are not like this. Money hungry, jewel lovers. So they got a crown on their head. Mine's a crown of thorn. I guess that's what you would say, isn't it? I'm on the outside looking in, but it's the suffering and pain that's unbelievable done to me and my children, my mom and dad. I'm their only child. And to take away what belonged to us and give the country away to the Illuminati, and that's what happened. And that's what I wanted to say on this one. I hope I get my father's name cleared, clear history so that it tells the truth, and these bunch of thugs go where they belong, and that's in prison, handcuffed like the common, they're not even common, criminals they are. There you go, sweetheart, with your flowers.